Everywhere you look, people are talking about the possible looming government shutdown. Some people are excited, some people are panicking. Which one should it be? What does it mean for the housing market?
Okay, so basically, what a government shutdown is, it's the president and Congress don't agree on passing a specific or part of a funding bill, and then not all, but part of the government will shut down. Basically, the non-essential parts of it would shut down until they reach an agreement. And this has happened before. I think this has happened 3 times since we've been in the industry. Sometimes it's very quick. Sometimes it takes a few days, a few weeks. So we'll see how long this one lasts.
So, some of the myths that actually are popping around, it's, you hear, oh man, there's bad news in the market. This is probably going to push mortgage rates lower.
Right. Yeah. So a lot of people are, using the hype as a marketing tool, an advertising tool to say, hey, look, the government's going to shut down, rates are going to drop. And that's not necessarily the case. It used to be back in the day. But the past few shutdowns that we've had, the rates haven't consistently dropped. Sometimes what happens is the market slows because there's government data that cannot be released due to the furlough, like jobs reports, CPI numbers. So then that makes it harder for investors to figure out and to predict economic conditions. So it can cause some short-term volatility, but not a guarantee that rates are going to drop.
And listen, this is not a red versus blue type of thing. The moral of the story, don't believe the hype that you're reading or you're seeing or you're reading on your phones. The drama is always the drama. It's a lot of this stuff is clickbait. The time for you to go and buy is when it's right for you, not necessarily trying to time around some, blip on the radar that actually is kind of what's going on in the grand scheme.
Yeah, you can't time the market until that time is already passed, and then you'll wish you would have.
So. Yeah, it's like trying to catch a falling knife. It never ends up working out. So
right.
While these shutdowns may make the headlines, they don't always dictate the mortgage rate. So if you're thinking about buying or refinancing, make sure you call my beautiful bride, Tracey. Where can they find you, babe?
Tracey.lacer@hancockwoodney.com.
Make it a great week. See you next week.